Good morning, everybody. How are you? I want to make sure everything is working right. Today, we are going to talk about the 5 probiotics that women need in our diets. We've talked about the PMS. My goodness. We've talked about PMS. We've talked about menopause, all facets of it. Perimenopause, active menopause, postmenopause, hysterectomies. We talked about it all. So if you have not watched those videos and you're interested in them, the links will be in the description below. But what's the next step? You want to know what you need to consume, how you need to consume it, and why is it so important? I mean, it's great to know that you need these things, but I'm one of those people, I need to know why. That's my big thing. If I don't know why, the chances of you getting me to do something is very slim. I will do it. I will do it reluctantly, but I will do it. And I want to make sure that all of you out there have the information that you need to answer your whys, to answer all of your questions. So today we're going to talk about those 5 probiotics, the most important. I like to call them super probiotics because these 5 help women specifically maintain healthy gut health. Wow, that was a lot of healthies, you guys. It helps us actually regulate our pH balance, and it's really important to gut health overall because of how it interacts with the rest of our body, the role it plays in our overall health and well-being. If the pH balance within our gut and within our vaginas are not there, several things can happen. Yeast infections, UTIs, acid reflux, heartburn, gas, constipation. Even if it's not from your diet, if your pH balance is off, which typically is diet related, but not because you've eaten something that is triggering this response. All of these things happen because that pH balance is off, right? The microbacteria levels, they're off. You're good and you're bad. There's more bad than good. There's so many different facets of this. So I want to make sure you know what these probiotics are so that you can incorporate them into your day-to-day life. Now, if you focus on these 5 and incorporating them into a more healthy overall health diet, something that's more balanced. That's what we strive for here. We strive for balance. Then what's going to happen is your cravings for foods that include these will increase. The balance and the well-being within your gut, within your vagina, within your entire body will continue to improve. All right. So why is this topic so crucial? Obviously, because we need to make sure that you are eating and consuming what you need to maintain that balance, to heal and achieve the balance. Because many of you are sitting in a state, especially if you're listening to me right now, you're sitting in a state where things just aren't quite right. You have a feeling it's just not quite right. A lot of people come to me, they can't quite put their finger on it, but they know something's not quite right. They know something's wrong. This is something that you can do, incorporating these 5 things into your diet. Starting today, you can do this. And it actually helps you with shifting cravings. It helps with boosting your energy. It helps with protecting you from viruses and colds. And y'all, we are in the early seasons. Wind is kicking up in Texas. So right now we are gearing up to get into cedar fever season. The weather is going to start getting wonky around here up north. You guys, you're already in wonky phase. So all these things impact our body and they're like attacks to our bodies. So if you have that balance, if you have the tools, the components coming into your body to help achieve that and to help continue to heal, great. That's where you're going to achieve that optimal well-being. That's where you're going to achieve the balance within your gut, within your vagina. Okay. So let's get into it, shall we? Hello, everybody. Hello. My name's Bonnie. I'm a holistic nutritionist. I help women go from exhausted, struggling with digestive upset, food sensitivities, body aches, to healthy and energized so that you can live a life free from unnecessary aches, pains, and body issues. What we're trying to do here is either heal from autoimmune chronic illness or prevent it. All right. We're trying to help you navigate food sensitivities, all that, so that you can get to the healthy side of your body and your world. All right. So let's dial it back for a minute. For those of you who are new, who are watching this video first before any of the others, an unhealthy gut typically leads to autoimmune dysfunction and chronic illness. Why? If it's unaddressed, if we do nothing about it, if we just start throwing pills at our body to basically put Band-Aids on it, we're not relieving the issue. We're not addressing the true core issue. And in many cases, especially in the United States, the core issue is the food that we are consuming. It's the calories we're consuming, not the amount, the type, what choices we are making, how our food is grown. There's a lot of components that come into this. Now, women are 2 times, probably greater than that, susceptible to autoimmune dysfunction and gut health or an unhealthy, unbalanced gut. There's a couple of reasons for this, okay? First and foremost, men have a gene that we do not. It's the whole XYYY. Yeah, it's the whole DNA strand. Men have a gene that we do not. All right. Additionally, men actually produce more acid within their gut. All right. What this means is they're more susceptible to things like acid reflux and heartburn than women are. All right. Outside of that, we roll in those categories, not by choice and not, definitely not by choice. Let me just say that. Now, additionally, men's colons are 8 centimeters shorter than women. So constipation isn't typically an issue because food has a shorter trip. To keep it really simple, it's just got a shorter trek to be booted out of the body. All right. So now, this doesn't mean that men are not susceptible to autoimmune and chronic illness. Obviously, we know that that is not true. But it does mean that as women, when we heal and when we try and restore that balance to our gut, to our bodies, that there's certain things that we really, truly want to pay attention to ensure that they are in our lives day in, day out, to make sure that we can maintain that balance. Those numbers, women being more susceptible, women having, as a demographic, women having more of us fighting and struggling with autoimmune conditions and chronic illness, we need to lower those numbers. And this is one of the ways that we can do so. All right. So now I mentioned that I call these super probiotics. It's just like superfoods. So the superfoods give you a large volume of benefits, right? A large volume of nourishment within your body. So if all you ate at one meal was, let's say, cruciferous food. So you had a bowl of broccoli, right? And that's all you had was that bowl of steamed broccoli. You would get protein. You would get a ton of micronutrients. A shit ton, you guys. You would get a little bit, not so much fat, but you'd still have a little bit in there. It's like a complete meal, and all you're eating is broccoli. That's what these foods do. And what those micronutrients within the superfoods do is they actually fuel your body from its source, from its core. It gives the best micronutrients your body could get from these foods, right? These 5 probiotics are no different, all right? You can get them from food, and we're going to talk about how, because I am one of those people that I believe that majority of what we consume, the majority of the things that we need within our body, the micronutrients, the macronutrients, the probiotics, the prebiotics, the digestive enzymes, all of that can actually come from our diet and over time should. Granted, here in the States, we have to work around a growth system. We got to figure out where the healthier choices are in our food system. But above and beyond all that, as human beings, we are natural organisms that live in sync with the world around us, which means we consume plants, some animals, but plants, and they ultimately consume us. So it's a circle. It's a circle, right? We feed each other. So we need each other. Getting the nutrients that we need from a supplement versus getting it from food, you're actually missing out on quite a large absorbability rate. So that's why I like to do food above and beyond supplements as we're able to. Now, I use supplements as a backup plan. So if I'm having a morning, okay, yesterday morning is a perfect example. The boys, so we got them toddler beds this week. They decided not to nap on Saturday. They wanted to play. They didn't want to nap. They're 2.5 or almost 2.5. What can you do? So I pulled them out of the room. I'm not going to stress them out. It's not necessary. And they had dinner, and right about 6:00, they're sitting in the rocking chair, and Drew almost fell out because Keegan fell onto him. Drew was already asleep, and Keegan almost fell out. Now we have the rocking chair in the living room at this point where the tile is. And long story short, they were knocked out for the night by 6:15. Drew, who sleeps very similarly to my husband, woke up at midnight and was up from midnight to about 3:00 in the morning. So all told, because Keegan had been fussing between about 10 and 12, and Brian and I go to bed somewhere around 10 to 12. So we were already up because of Keegan. Then we, were ready to go to sleep. And then Drew. So all told, I think I got about 3.5 hours. I think Brian got 3.5 too, but he fell asleep in the pads in the kids' room. So I think he had it a little worse yesterday. So waking up, I knew I'm exhausted. The chances that I will have time to take a nap, I don't know if that's going to happen. Every day is different nowadays. Some days they nap, some days they don't. Last night was the first night they fell asleep like that, but they're toddlers. They're in a growth phase, so this is going to happen. So I knew it wasn't going to happen. So the very first thing I did was make sure I had my probiotic for the day, because a day like yesterday means we are ordering pizza. I am going to be lucky if I have a salad. So that means breakfast is a smoothie. And I'll have an afternoon smoothie or an afternoon something. I'll eat fruit with them, or, do something that makes sure I get that in my body. But for the most part, meals are going to be takeout, or they're going to be things that we have in the freezer, because you're exhausted. There's only so much you're going to pay attention to. And you guys are going to have days that may be similar to that, or maybe a little bit different, but they align with you, right? And with where you guys are in your life, whatever's going on with your work, whatever's going on at home, you're going to have days like that too. So that's what the supplements are for. They're for days like that, where I know no matter what, I can try my best, but the chances that I will get those foods in that day are just, they're 50-50 at best. That's when I take a supplement. You know you best. What I generally recommend is, for the first 3 months, when you're trying to heal your gut, take a supplement every single day. It means that no matter what you put in your body that day, you have good bacteria coming in. Now, that 3 to 6 month time period, you're making sure you're getting a lot of other foods in. So there isn't a risk of overgrowth, right? Putting too much of these into your system and throwing off the balance that way. As long as you're sticking with one supplement a day for your probiotic, prebiotic, digestive enzymes, and that could be 3 separate versions. Some of you need the prebiotics, some of you don't. Just kind of depends. Everyone's a little bit different. So today we're going to talk about these 5, right? So let's get to these 5, because I'm sure you're like, okay, you're just jabbering now. All right. So put my notes on my screen so I could just look at you guys and not do this. Learning experience. All right, so here are your 5. You have Lactobacillus acidophilus, you have Lactobacillus Plantarum, you have the Rhamnosus, then you have the Bifidobacterium Breve and the Bifidobacterium Lactis. Confused yet? I will actually put in the description, and those of you listening on Facebook, I will copy this and put it into the Facebook under comments so that you can see how they are spelled. You want to make sure you have these 5. Now, a lot of times what you'll see in marketing is you'll just see the ending. You'll see L. acidophilus, you'll see L. plantarum, you'll see L. rhamnosus, you'll see B. breve, and you'll see B. lactis. Right? You don't, and sometimes I've seen a couple of them, especially just getting my topics down and getting my talking points down this week, looking through various things on the deep web. I'm seeing that some scientists are actually dropping the lactobacillus and they're just saying acidophilus and plantarum and rhamnosus and breve and lactis. They're just completely dropping the beginning. There are, I think last count I saw, it was like 65,000 probiotic strands in our body. I could be wrong on that. Let me check on that. Regardless, thousands upon thousands upon thousands. As someone with a health degree, I would not let go of that beginning phrase, but I'm not in charge of that research. All right, so acidophilus, Lactobacillus acidophilus. This one is known as the queen strand of strands. It is your superfood upon superfood, okay? Like we're talking the greatest superhero of all time, whoever that is. All of the strands help you grow good, deflect bad, right? This one in particular is, it produces the lactic acid within your body using lactase. Now, this is the enzyme that is found in dairy as well. So for those of you who are like me with a dairy allergy, you want to make sure that when you see this in your probiotic, that it is not coming from dairy. It is very easy to pull it from dairy and put it into a probiotic. So just make sure when you're looking at your supplementation that the acidophilus, the L. acidophilus, does not come from a dairy source. There are other ways to get it. This one is also responsible for helping your body lower cholesterol, prevents and reduces diarrhea, IBS, promotes weight loss. Actually, all 5 of them promote weight loss because balance equals weight loss. If your body feels like it is in balance, especially within your gut, second brain, remember, if it feels imbalanced, it's going to let go of what it doesn't need, what it sees as unnecessary. So that means all that extra body fat, gone. All right. The L. acidophilus is also specifically effective on balancing pH within our vagina. Helps you boost your immune system so you can fight off colds and flus and the allergy symptoms that we deal with, the congestion and all of that. Now, the Lactobacillus Plantarum, obviously improves gut function. It's kind of funny because you go through all of the research and every single one of these, they're listed separately, but each one of them, number 1, improves gut health, improves gut bacteria, improves gut balance. They all do that. The L. plantarum is the enzyme or the bacteria that helps your body fight off cancerous cells. Okay. It's an anti-inflammatory, it's an anti-diabetic, it helps balance that glycemic index and the insulin and everything. This one also really, if you're struggling with mental illness, this is the one you really, really, really want to have in your probiotic. It increases dopamine and serotonin levels. What that means, an increase of dopamine, an increase of serotonin reduces anxiety and depression responses. So when you're struggling with depression and anxiety as a mental health or as a mental illness, your body is struggling to boost dopamine and serotonin, right? This one in particular helps you boost that. Now, the L. rhamnosus, this is the one that it's like the soldiers. It's the good bacteria soldiers. They fight off the bad bacteria, right? It really is part of the group of microbiota that helps your body fight off and keep those bad bacteria in check. We still need them. They're still going to be there. There's nothing we can do about it. It's going to be, we're going to have the good, bad balance, just like everything else in this world. We have to have a good, bad balance, right? I wrote this down because I wanted to make sure to mention it. Some of the probiotic strands actually travel from mother to fetus, okay? This one in particular is actually very effective in helping your fetus grow into a very healthy baby. It's helping a mother through pregnancy. And I had a really rough pregnancy. I was morning sick all except like 3 weeks. And I swear after the first trimester, I think that was motion sickness. I had 2 very active babies. I think it was motion sickness. I don't think it was actually morning sickness, but regardless, having a probiotic with this inside of it actually helped me a lot. This and B6, it helped significantly. It was still there. It was still rough, but it was not nearly as rough as it was without those 2 things. So what this one does for newborns is it actually helps start them off with a healthy balance, okay, within their gut. It's triggering growth of healthy microflora. It's reducing the production of unhealthy. So like, let's say you have a craving for Taco Bell or McDonald's or something like that, right? And you eat it. What if you eat that a lot during your pregnancy? Is it healthy for you? No, it's even not. It's even less healthier for the baby. But I mean, come on, pregnancy cravings. I'm sorry. You're not going to get around a lot of those. So taking a probiotic that includes L. rhamnosus will actually help produce and deliver and help your newborn have better balance within their gut. Okay, right from the get-go, before they even leave your body. All right, so now we're going to get into the Bifidobacterium. All right, now Dr. Mark Hyman actually talks about the Bifidobacterium a lot. He talks about these strands often. So if you're very interested in science, you're interested in this, hop over to his podcast, check him out. Trust me, they're long, but I love his podcast. He talks about a lot of the things that we should be paying attention to. And he switched from medical practitioner, conventional, into functional medicine over time because he realized how severely our conventional science and conventional medicine field is lacking this holistic side of health. So let's get back to the Bifidobacterium. So Bifidobacterium Breve, this is the one that is actually found in human breast milk. So this one, as well as the Rhamnosus, yeah. All of a sudden I was like, whoa, wait. The Bifidobacterium Breve, as well as the L. rhamnosus, those are the 2 that specifically help mother and newborn, okay? This one is found in breast milk. It helps you fight off allergies, helps the immune system actually build itself up, which is why it's found in breast milk. Now, there's a side effect, ladies, especially those of you who listen to the menopause episode. This is one that helps us with our anti-aging. It's one of many. It's not the only one, but it's one of many. It helps us absorb hydration to go into our skin. It helps with skin elasticity, in addition to all the digestive health benefits that we have already talked about: allergies, immune boosting, weight loss, inflammation, which I have not mentioned, but all of these do help you reduce inflammation. Healthy balance, no need for inflammation, your body lets it go, right? All right, so last, final, certainly not least, but kind of isn't as much of a superpower player as the other four, is Bifidobacterium Lactis. Boost your immune system, just like everything else. And this one really does work with other strands in helping reduce your LDL cholesterol specifically. Now, LDL is the bad, HDL is the good, so it helps you reduce that LDL cholesterol. It works with your glucose, restore the balance within there, your fasting insulin, so that you're not spiking and dropping. There's no peaks and valleys. It's just balanced, keeping that blood glucose levels in a balance. Really helps with energy levels. It helps with how healthy you feel, how happy you feel, how well functioning the rest of your body is. If you have peaks and valleys within your blood glucose, that's where you get the shakiness. That's where you get the exhaustion, because your body's trying to restore the balance, but it's on this roller coaster. If you've been on a roller coaster, you can't find balance. You're just, right? And your body is struggling to find that balance. And when you get off the roller coaster, you're wiped out. Adrenaline has something to do with that as well. But it takes a lot of energy to try and balance out that roller coaster. Really, really does. All right. So now let's go through these last five. All right. We got the L. Acidophilus. We got the L. Plantarum, L. Rhamnosus. We got the Bifidobacterium Breve and the Bifidobacterium Lactis. You want all five in whatever probiotic you consume, supplement or food. Now, what foods can you eat? Fermented yogurt, kimchi, sauerkraut, anything that has fermentation in it, dairy products if you're able to. If you're not, the coconut products that are out there are really helpful. Coconut acts as a probiotic in a lot of cases, depending on how it's produced or how it's, served. Not produced because it's grown, but how it's served. If you get canned coconut, the canned coconut milk, that's not really going to be a probiotic. It's very sweet. It's very healthy, as an alternative. And it's absolutely delicious, but it doesn't necessarily act as probiotic. So it depends on the preparation of it. Things that really could help kind of throw you over the edge are making sure that you have your fermented foods. Yogurt every single day. I mean, that's pretty easy. You can either eat yogurt, you can drink yogurt, because now they have the little drinkables. Even the non-dairy have the drinkables. You could take a regular yogurt, you could put it into some almond milk or regular milk if you can drink it. Throw some fruit in there, make yourself a smoothie. Now you've got your probiotics, right? Fermented foods really are the key to getting these five in. In addition, making sure that you can get some lactic acid in, because that's acidophilus, right? You're going to get that from some cured meats. Now, keep in mind with the cured meats, you might be getting your lactic acid in some probiotics, but you're also eliminating the benefit of lowering your cholesterol. How do I want to say this? It's not unhealthy to have cured meats every once in a while. It is unhealthy to have cured meats every single day and to rely on it as a probiotic. Let me just put it that way. Red wine, same exact thing, you guys. You should have no more than 6 ounces of red wine every single day. And what you want is the organic version. You want to make sure that there are no added sulfates, no added ingredients whatsoever. The wine will help give you some lactic acid. Sourdough bread. For those of you that have a gluten sensitivity, not celiac, no intolerances. All right, no allergies. This does not apply. If you have a minor sensitivity, sourdough bread is the greatest recommendation I can give you for bread. Not only does it have that lactic acid and some fermentation within it, but it actually has a minimal amount of gluten. And yes, you're sensitive, but because of the other components that make up sourdough bread, the chances that you will respond and have a reaction are very minimal. It gives you just enough. It gives you a microdose of gluten, enough that if you have it in another meal, your responses are going to be reduced. They're not going to be as severe. So if you're struggling to get some probiotics in and you've been eating gluten-free bread, I highly recommend switching to sourdough. And like I said, not celiac, no intolerances. This is for minor sensitivities only, all right? Something you want to make sure of as well. There's 2 things, 2 crucial elements, because you can get these foods, but if these 2 things are present in those foods, then it negates the food that you just ate. Pasteurization and heating kills bacteria strands that live in our gut. Kills it. So if the yogurt that you are eating or the dairy products that you're eating are made from pasteurized milk, it's null and void. It's not effective. You want to make sure that whatever dairy products you're consuming, especially those you're consuming for probiotic benefits, are made with unpasteurized milk. And it will say so on the label. It will say if it is pasteurized, okay? You also want to make sure there's no hormones inside of that, but that's a completely different issue that we talked about in menopause and PMS. Adding hormones where there's already a hormone imbalance, not healthy, not good. You're throwing fuel on the fire. All right, so now one other thing. Hydrogenated and chemically processed foods, or the process of hydrogenating, chemically processing food, kills strands as well. So anything that you're eating that says hydrogenated whatever, or if there's a chemical processing of any kind, way, shape, or form, which some of the non-dairy products out there will have that. Some of the milks will have it. Some of the yogurts will have it. So you have to be very, very careful. I like the Silk Greek and the So Delicious coconut. Those 2. I like the Siggies, but for some reason my stomach does not like Siggies. And it has a higher protein value, which helps me because I struggle to get enough protein in every day. It's just kind of one of those things, the foods that I prefer. All right, so we've gone through all this. You're going to get your probiotics in. You're going to make sure if you get them from food that they are not pasteurized, that they are not heated, that they don't have any hydrogenation processes in there, that there's no chemical processing whatsoever. You're going to enjoy your pickles. You're going to enjoy your yogurt. Frozen yogurt counts, you guys. You are going to enjoy your sourdough bread and go have a nice, lovely little life where your cravings are going to be diminished. Your symptoms of PMS and menopause are going to be reduced. And your gut is going to be happy, healthy, and thriving. Yes? All right. We're all in agreement. I heard a resounding yes. I'm going to go with it. All right. So as always, if you have questions, I got an answer for you. If I don't, I know someone who does. If you've made it all the way through here and you're feeling overwhelmed or you feel like you just don't even know where to start, I have a starting place for you. Hop over to bewildhealth.com/happy-tummy. I'll list it in the description, or just comment happy tummy here, DM me. I will send you the link. It's for my gut health assessment. You're going to take it. If you click on the link, you're going to take it. You'll receive an initial summary of what's happening, and then I'm going to respond to you within 24 hours of receiving that notification of your submission so that you and I can chat about what's really going on and get some specifics so that we can nail down that blueprint. You'll receive a link to schedule an initial consultation with me, which is free, by the way. And then you'll also get a link, or you won't get a link, but you'll receive an invitation, a separate email for your free 14-day gut health reset. It's held within the app that I use for all of my clients. So that's why it's a separate issue, and you can't get it unless I invite you. So come take the assessment, come within, let's get that gut healed up, healthy, balanced, and let's just start living life. How's that sound? All right, so coming up over the next month or so, through now through the end of the year, I've got a couple more guests that are going to be featured on the podcast. I'm so excited for you guys to hear from these people. We've got some doctors. We've got some longtime colleagues of mine, people who have been in this field longer than I have. So you guys are going to be learning from the best of the best that's out there. And I'm really excited to introduce you guys to everybody. So look for those videos coming up soon. As always, I will chat with you guys later. Have a wonderful Monday. It is beautiful outside. So if you're in Texas, enjoy this weather because it really doesn't feel that bad out. It feels amazing. I'm going to go enjoy the spring-like weather in the fall. It's not 100. I'm going to celebrate that. All right, you guys, I will chat with you later. And yeah, go have a good week.